Good afternoon, fifth grade friends. Welcome back. As a reminder, I am Mrs. Matani, and today we're going to continue on with our essential concept, geometry. We're going to work on our coordinate plane again. We're going to talk about all the parts of the coordinate plane, and then we're going to put together patterns from last week and our coordinate plane from this week. So take a look. We're going to review coordinate grid. And we're only going to look in the first quadrant, one section of the grid. We're going to review what an axis is, x-axis and y-axis. We're going to talk about ordered pairs, and we're going to talk about the origin. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to lead into representing real-world and mathematical problems by graphing points, again, only in the first quadrant, and interpreting those values in the context of the situation. So basically what that means is today we're going to graph different situations. Maybe a situation that we looked at last week, like if you have a cup of yogurt that costs $3 and you buy 2 cups of yogurt, that then would be $6. So we're going to kind of put together what we did last week and this week, okay? So let's take a look. Remember, I said I always check your exit ticket. On Monday, your exit ticket had you looking at the ordered pairs, and you should have labeled the x and y coordinates. So look at that first ordered pair there. Did you put that 4 was the x coordinate and 7 was the y coordinate? If you did, you're on the right track. And for this one, did you put that 0 was the x and 6 was the y? Yeah, that's exactly right. So the first number in our group of our ordered pair will always be the x coordinate. And then the second number is going to be the y coordinate. And then I asked you to find the location of point A. Do you remember where we start when we look at the coordinate grid? Yeah, we always start at the origin. And if you can remember, the origin is always 0x and 0y, 0, 0. And then we move across the x horizontally first, the x-axis, and then we move up the y-axis. So if we start here at the origin, and we find point A is here, we know we're going to go over on the x 2 points, 2 places, and up 8. So our ordered pair will be 2, 8. Is that what you got for your exit ticket? I hope so. All right, so before we move on to our brain teaser and our work for today, I wanted to show you something that we did at home, my children and I, this week. Now, I have a little boy that's in 1st grade and a little girl that's in 4th grade. But the cool part about this is we did this together. So you can do this with a sibling or with a guardian, whoever's at home with you, or you can even do this by yourself. All you need is some sidewalk chalk and some toys. So take a look at what we did. I drew on the ground on our sidewalk a coordinate plane. Notice the origin is right there, and then I went over 5, then I went up 6, and I spaced everything out about the same space. And I'm not sure if you can see well, but I put cars along the coordinate plane. And then I had my children tell me where the cars were located. So the green car, if you can see well, we start at the origin. My children moved over on the x-axis 1 place and up 3. And when you do that, let's see, origin over 1 up 3, there's the green car. And so we did that with just some cars that my children had at home. Another thing that we did is we made it even larger. Again, I just used chalk, and we have these little cones that they like to use when they ride their bikes, but you can use anything. You could use rocks, you could use flowers, you could use matchbox cards again. And what we did was we labeled the origin, We labeled the x-axis, we labeled the y-axis, and then I put the cones in different places. And my children had to figure out the ordered pair. We even had fun with themselves. They actually did the work too. They walked along the x-axis, they started going up the y, and when I told them to stop, they had to plot where they stopped. So you can enjoy yourself with math outside, like we did. And all it takes is some sidewalk chalk and some toys or something that you have at home. And you can play by yourself, you can play with a sibling, or you can play with a guardian. So that was something that we enjoyed this week together. All right, are you ready for your brain teaser? Here we go. I want you to write the ordered pairs for points A, B, and C, looking at this coordinate plane. Do that for me now. Okay, for point A, I hope you wrote 0, 0 for point A. Because if you notice, point A is right there at the origin. What about for point B? For point B, did you move over to the 3 and up 2? Yeah, so point B, its ordered pairs are 3 and 2. And then look at point C. Did you go over on the x-axis, 6, and up on the y-axis, 4? Yeah, 6 and 4. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you a question. Looking at this, look at the x coordinates. Do you see a possible pattern? I see from 0, we go to 3, and then 6. Yeah. And then look at the y coordinates. 0, 2, 4. Yeah, so we go up by 2s. So these are patterns. And so today we're going to incorporate patterns with our coordinate grids. Now, here's what I want you to remember as we move forward. If I say, let's look at pattern A and pattern B, when I say A is always going to be your x coordinate. Because if you think about it, we go along the x-axis before we go along the y-axis, right? So we're going to look at pattern A first, and that will always go along the x-axis. When we look at pattern B, that is going to be our y-axis. So if I say today, look at pattern A, I want you to start visualizing what pattern A would look like because it would be along the x-axis. And if I say look at pattern B, I want you to visualize what that would look like because that will be along the y-axis. Okay? So let's take a look at what we've got today. Again, we're looking at patterns and the coordinate plane because they go together. It says the table shows the terms of a pattern of x coordinates and a pattern of y coordinates. Now remember what I said. I hear the word pattern and I hear x coordinate. So this x coordinate, I'm going to label it pattern A. Okay, that's my A, because anything that I have in my first pattern, pattern A, is going to be along the x-axis because x comes before y. And then my y coordinate is pattern B. All right, so I want you to take a look at your x coordinate, pattern A. Don't look down here, just look at the first pattern. Do you see what the rule is for pattern A, for your x coordinates? We start at 0, then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So what would be the rule for the x coordinates for pattern A? Yeah, if you said to add 1, you're correct. So pattern A on the x coordinates we would be adding 1. I'm just going to put plus 1. We're adding 1. All right, for the y coordinate, just looking across, looking at the second pattern or pattern B. Remember, B comes after A, just like Y comes after X. Looking at this pattern, do you know what that rule is? Yeah, it's adding 5, isn't it? Because we go from 0 to 5, 10, 15, 20. That's right. So we're going to put plus 5. So now we see that patterns can work with coordinate grids. And I'm going to show you just what that means. Let's take a look together. It says to consider the 2 patterns below. Start each pattern with 0. So let's take a look at this. Pattern A says add 1. Now, do you remember where I said pattern A would have to go? That's right, it goes along the x-axis. So right here, I'm going to put x because that's our first pattern we're going to look at. If pattern A is add 1, and we're going to start at 0, can we fill in our pattern A? If I start at 0, if I add 1, yeah, if I add another 1, and another 1, and another 1. There it is. So now pattern A, let's see if we followed the rule. The rule says to add 1. Did we add 1 for pattern A? Yeah, we did. That's right. So now pattern B, which is also the y-axis, I'm going to label it Y. Look at pattern B. Pattern B says to add 3. Now remember, we're starting at 0 for both of them. So there's my 0. What would be the first number right here? Yeah, it would be 3 because our pattern says to add 3. What would this one be? 6, 9, and then 12. Yeah. And so now that we know X and we know Y, then do we know our ordered pairs? Yeah. So the first ordered pair is pretty easy. It's right there at the origin. It is 0, 0. I want you to tell yourself, or maybe a sibling or someone else there with you in the room, what this ordered pair would be. Yep, did you say it was 1, 3? If so, you're correct. Over 1, up 3. Over on the x-axis, up on the y-axis. This ordered pair, 2, 6. Over 2, up 6. This ordered pair, 3, 9. Over 3, up 9. And then the final is 4, 12. Now let me ask you this. Looking at this chart table and looking at this coordinate plane, do you think you now can plot these numbers? Absolutely. Super, super easy. So let's do that really, really quickly. Erase that. There we go. All right, the first ordered pair is 0, 0. Reminder, the origin. Oops, did I do that? Sorry about that. There we go, the origin. Okay, the next ordered pair is 1, 3. From the origin over 1, uh-oh. What is that? It says 2, 4, 6, 8. What do we do? Can you still work on this? Yeah, what's between 0 and 2? There's the 1. So I'm going to go over 3 up to the 1. All right, what about this one? Over 2 up to the, oh, there it is, 6. I can do that. Sure. Oh, I am messing up today. Sorry about that, guys. Let's try this again. Over 1, up 3. There we go. Now, oh, my goodness. There we go. Now this next one, over 2 up 6. There we go. But I still need to erase that right there. Is that not erasing? No. Let's not look at that one, okay? All right, let's try this one. Over 3 up 9. There is no 9, but we can put it right there in between the 8 and the 10, and then over 4 up to the 12. If I do that, there it is. Now take a look. Can you see those numbers all connecting in a nice line, except for that one where Miss Matani messed up? Yeah, it goes straight up. So we can see the pattern. The pattern would be adding 3 along the Y and adding 1 along the X. All right, let's see if I can get this one right because, man, I messed that up a little bit. All right, here we go. Now this is putting it all together in real-world context, okay? This says, Lucy buys baseball cards in packages of 10. So I want you to think of one package of baseball cards, okay? And in that package, there are 10 cards. So have that in your brain. List the number of baseball cards for 0 to 4 packages in the table. And then we're going to write the ordered pairs. Now remember, X is the number of packages. This is our A pattern. Y is the number of cards in the package. This is our B pattern. And then we'll put those patterns together to make an ordered pair. All right, it says we have to start at 0. We're looking at 0 packages up to 4 packages. So I have no packages here. Then if I have 1 package, 2 packages, 3 packages, and 4 packages. Do you agree that that is the correct pattern for the x-axis? Yeah, because it says 0 to 4 packages, and that is my 4th package. All right, now it says there's 10 cards in each package. All right, so if I don't have a package at all, do I have any cards in it? No. So this right here, my Y, is going to be 0 because there's no packages, so there's no cards. And so that ordered pair for pattern A and pattern B is 0, 0. 0 packages and 0 cards. All right, now, if I have 1 package, how many cards does it say are in each package? 10. Yeah, so if I have 1 package, how many cards are in 1 package? Yep, 10. All right, so take a look. 1 package, 10 cards. That's my ordered pair. Over 1, up 10. Pattern A, pattern B. All right, what about 2 packages? If 10 cards are in 1 package, how many cards would be in 2 packages? Yeah, that's right, there'd be 20. You could say 1 times 10 is 10, and so 2 times 10 is 20, or you could add 10 each time. And so this ordered pair would be 2, 20. All right, what about 3 packages? Again, there's 10 cards in each package, so yes, it would be 30. Over 3, up 30. And then our final, what would that be? I bet you already know. Yeah, that's right, it'd be 40. And so it'd be over 4, up 40. All right, so let's look. It says, list the number of baseball cards for 0 to 4 packages in the table, and then write the ordered pairs. Did we do that? Yes. So that part of our problem is done. Now, what does it say to do? Plot the points in the coordinate plane to the right. Again, pattern A is our packages. Pattern B are our baseball cards. So taking a look at the first ordered pair, we have 0, 0. As a reminder, what is that? Yep, that's right. It's the origin. Now let's see if I can get this one right because, I messed up the last one. Okay, there is our beginning. All right, now, if I have one package, how many cards do I have? 10, yes. Over 1 up to the 10. There it is. Okay, if I have 2 packages, 20 cards. Over 2 up now to the 20, yes. All right, if I were to ask you to keep going, could you do this by yourself? Yeah, absolutely. Over 3 up 30. Over 3 up 30. And then we could do over 4 up 40. It's so hard to see when I'm on the side. Sorry about that. Now, what do you notice? Do you notice that the more packages we have, yeah, the more baseball cards we have? That's exactly right. Yeah. All right, so it says, describe the relationship between the coordinates of the ordered pairs. What's our relationship? 1 package of cards to 10, 2 to 20, 3 to 30, 4 to 40. So do you think that the relationship is for every package of cards, there are 10 cards in each package? Yeah. So that's our rule. We're looking at the amount of packages. We're going to add on 10 each time. Remember, multiplication is simply repeated addition. So if I know that there's 10 cards in each package and there's 4 packages, 4 times 10 is 40. That's right, yeah. All right, let's take a look. Here's our exit ticket for today. Now remember what I said. I always check your exit ticket. So on Monday, we're going to start off looking at this. It says use the graph of corresponding terms in pattern A and B. You're going to write the first 5 terms of each pattern. We're going to see how we found those terms. So I'm going to help you out with the first one. Remember, this is X and this is Y, or pattern A and pattern B. And then remember that this is X and Y put together. So the first one, yep, 0, 0, the origin. Okay, and then take a look. If I start at the origin and I go over on pattern A and up on pattern B, I have 3 and 2, so my ordered pair is 3, 2. Now I'm not going to do any more for you because this is your exit ticket, okay? So I'm going to give you just a minute to look at this plot on the coordinate plane, and I want you to also look at this plot on the coordinate plane, and I want you to think about what that would be in our chart. Okay, remember, I'll check your exit ticket on Monday, and I have something really exciting to tell you. On Monday, I will have a visitor. And our visitor is going to be a student teacher. And she's a teacher just like me, and she's going to start talking to all of you about fractions. Now, let me tell you, fractions are my most favorite thing ever, ever, ever to teach. I love fractions. So we're going to start on that on Monday. Her name is Mrs. Gregory, and I'm so excited to have her join me on Monday. And I hope you'll join us on Monday too, okay? As a reminder, if you have any brain teasers you want me to put out there on TV, or if you have any questions, remember to email me or to call the hotline at 221-7777. And do not forget, you're smart, you are capable, you are closer to being prepared for 6th grade. Yeah, you are one smart cookie. Okay? I hope you all, I won't see you again until Monday. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And remember to always think about math everywhere around you. Okay? Thank you.